You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
That's right, you're listening to the Sports Coma's Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network. I'm Big Q bringing y'all in with my co-host DC. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm good, man.
We bringing you podcasts 145, that's 145, on this February the 4th, 2018 Super Bowl day. As we speak right now, the New England Patriots are trailing the Philadelphia Eagles 22-12 at the start of the third. So, first of all, we're going to welcome you guys in today's podcast, Pelican Post Game Report, with a round of applause. That's, of course, to you for joining us and for our supporters as we continue to move forward in a very, very exciting season. Drama-filled season for the New Orleans Pelicans. And tonight's show will be recapping two back-to-backs, the Pelicans matchups against the Thunders and the T-Wolves, both away games. We'll recap those both tonight with stats, facts, breakdowns, interviews from Coach Gentry, Anthony Davis, who became the franchise's all-time leading scorer a game or two ago. And, of course, we'll have the first interview by Nikola Mirotic. Mirotic. We'll have an interview with him as well. We'll also talk about some of the signings that the Pelicans made outside of the last trade that they occurred with sending Mirotic, Jameer Nelson, Tony Allen to Chicago for Nikola Mirotic. And, of course, a first-round draft pick to go with him. We covered that on our trade special. If y'all want to hear more of that, we land-based Adele Dips in that one as well. for giving up a first-round pick to get Mirotic and trading one. We let him have that. And we also, we're going to talk about other signings as the Pelicans move to sign Emeka Okafor, who comes back to New Orleans. If you remember, he was here as an overpaid center many years ago.
That's right, bring him back. Give him some more money.
We'll cover that deal. DeAndre Liggins, who's one of our favorites, a top defensive guy, he can occasionally hit a three, was signed a 2-year contract with the Pelicans. We'll get into that and give you the particulars.
Tony Allen spot, huh?
Yeah, Tony Allen. He's the Tony Allen's guy, the spot now. And then we'll also talk about the other transition that came but didn't happen for him, was obviously the Terrence Jones signing, which the Pelicans were lined up to sign Terrence Jones to a 10-day contract. It just something happened. So we'll cover that.
I don't get that.
Then we'll have a preview of the Utah game as the Pelicans line up to face the Utah Jazz Monday night in the Smoothie King Center. That's first of two home games that'll be here before the Pelicans hit the road again. And now let's get right into it, DC. Two games the Pelicans have faced. We're going to start with the Thunder first. Of course, Russell Westbrook in that game. That was a very interesting game.
It was a good game, man.
Really good game as the Pelicans really show what they were made of. They looked terrible in the first quarter, losing the quarter 32-22, and I was just quite frustrated, in that quarter. But when the second quarter turned, a switch went on somewhere, and the Pelicans won every quarter after that, beating the OKC Thunder by 14 points, 114-100. Excellent game by New Orleans. At first they looked terrible, like you made the comment earlier about they switched the first quarter for the third quarter now. Which was hey, that works for me.
It's been going
that works for
two
me.
Games, man.
But that works. But if that's the case, it works for me to give them opportunity to play bad early so they can look good the last three quarters. So I guess you got to take the law of averages.
How about we not play bad at all?
I hear you.
You got to pick your spots where you're gonna play great, but let's not play bad at all. Let's play okay. Let's at least get 28, 27, up, not 22.
I understand that, and I agree with you, but I don't think they have the ability to kind of turn it on like that. If they did, I would recommend that they play better defense than what they do all season long. But anyway, Looking at some of the particulars on this game, Anthony Davis blew up in this game. He had 43 points, 10 rebounds in this game. He had 38 minutes of action. This is actually the game when Anthony Davis took the all-time Pelican scorer mark from David West. And he's going to put that sucker way up in the 11s and 12s and 13s before it all said and done. But
that's it? That's all you think?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying beyond 2 years, you never know.
He only 24.
Well, but beyond 2 years, my man, you never know based on how Dell Demps and all of them acting. Yeah. So that's why
I don't want to think about it like that.
But anyway, let's look at some more particulars on this Thunder matchup in the game. Now, Thunder, obviously, the Pelicans, like I said, they looked bad early, but eventually they came back. They won all 3 quarters. Anthony Davis was the top dog. It was his night, no doubt about it. He carried the day for them. And also looking at some of the other fantastic scoring that was done by the Pelicans, Etwan Moore, who was fantastic, 26 points, 10 of 14 shooting from the field. He was perfect from 3-point line, 4-4 on the night. He really stepped up in a major league fashion and played well. And then the other double figures for the Pelicans was obviously Darius Miller off the bench. He was pretty good too, shooting 4 of 6, 3 of 5 from downtown. He had 11 points. And Drew Holiday. Now Drew Holiday he had a double-double. He had 11 points, 11 assists in this game.
Word.
But his defense in this game, I mean, he was absolutely astounding. He played Paul George. He was battling Paul George. He got up against Westbrook. He had to guard Ferguson, the other guy there, and he was just all over the place. And I just got to give a lot of respect, even though he didn't score a lot of points in this game. Drew Holiday played a hell of a game defensively. Also, big shout out to Rajon Rondo in this matchup too. He finished with 7 points, but dished out 13 assists. He played in the fourth quarter of this matchup, which I would love to see more of that.
Right.
But being that Jameer Nelson usually would be that guy, Ian Clark, and they're mixed match, and he might get that opportunity because they don't seem like they're fully vested in Mike James.
Minutes.
So
he got 34 minutes, and Rondo usually get around 24, 25. So that was good to see.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at, before we get you any more of the stats and facts on the game, let's listen to what Coach L. Gentry had to say over the win over the OKC Thunder. Here's Coach Gentry.
I thought we approached the game the right way, right from the start. I thought we played with energy. I thought we maintained our poise throughout, even in the first quarter when they made the run, and second quarter when they, got a little separation. Our guys I liked the attitude that they had when they came to the bench. They felt like that we'd miss some easy shots and we'd, maybe dropped a couple of defensive assignments. But, I felt like we had confidence. And then, obviously the third quarter start was big. I mean, we've struggled so much in the third quarter to have a start like we did, I thought gave us even more confidence. And then we were able to close the game.
Coach, what about Anthony Davis tonight? Not only did he lead your team in scoring, he also became the franchise's all-time leading scorer.
I don't think that's much of a surprise to anyone. It was just a matter of time. But I thought he played great. It's not, I don't like the fact that he has to battle a guy like Steven Adams and play those 37 minutes. Those 37 minutes become like 50 when you got a guy like that leaning on you and beating you. But I thought he did a great job. I thought Chet did a great job coming in for the minutes that he did. I thought our bench played really well, and because of that, we were able to at least get those guys out of the game and not have those, 40-minute games that they had to play.
Could you identify, Coach, what was different about this third quarter that perhaps you can duplicate in other games?
Yeah, I wish so much I knew. I wish so much that I knew, what, sparked them and what made us go out with just a lot more focus and resolve. I mean, I wish I did. That's the way we have to approach it. And I think when we do that, we put ourselves in a situation where we're not playing from behind, and I think if we're not playing from behind, we do a pretty good job.
How much of an advantage was it catching the Thunder on the second back-to-back on the road?
Yeah, you know what? I said this before. I don't put any. I mean, I think you just play games, and you play a game. We've done the same thing. Every team in the NBA has played back-to-back. So I think you're accustomed to doing that. Maybe they're a little tired, but I've never seen Russell Westbrook ever not have energy. So, I don't know how much that was a factor.
That's Coach L. Gentry talking about some of the statistics from the game, his thoughts on the game.
Compliment to Drew Holiday. He said he never saw Russell Westbrook not have energy. So
Yeah, right.
Drew Holiday did
in
his
trouble.
thing,
Then.
right?
Yeah, you in trouble. Ain't no way you can match that. That's something God given. New Orleans Saints shot 51%, 46 of 90 from the field for 54% from the 3-point line, while holding Oklahoma City to just 38%, 37 to 9-7 from the floor, and 25% from the 3-point line. The Thunder's big three of Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook were all held under 20 points apiece. Drew Holiday and Rajon Rondo combined to 24 of New Orleans' 30 assists on the night. After trailing, New Orleans jumped out to an early 12-6 lead. Oklahoma City closed the first quarter with a 26-10 run, and then trailing by 16 at 40-24, their largest deficit of the game, with 10 minutes and 9 seconds remaining. In the first half, the Pelicans closed the second quarter on a 30-18 run, cutting the lead to just 4 points at the break. Then New Orleans opened up the second half. They went on a 16-14 run, and they never looked back, taking a 70-62 lead with 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Then the Thunder, still within striking distance with under 2 minutes to play, Anthony Davis sealed the win for the Pelicans, connecting on 2 3-pointers from the top of the key, as in many possessions, giving New Orleans a double-digit lead with just over a minute to play in regulation. The win snaps a 4-game losing streak to OKC, and they also, get the first win without DeMarcus Cousins, so a major win in that situation. DC, quick thoughts before we play a little of this Anthony Davis interview.
Very big win, man. I was impressed with the poise, like Al said, and the ability for them to fight back, being down by 10 points early in that first quarter, knowing DeMarcus Cousins is out, and they're going through this transitionary period. They could have easily gave up, but they fought back, man. And I thought it was amazing to also see both Drew Holiday and Rondo put up double-digit assists. It's almost like they was fighting over who was going to be the point guard.
They did excellent play for both those guys, especially we looking at the assists, but the defense was all over the place. Let's listen to
the defense was amazing. We lost the rebound battle, and we won the game. We couldn't have did that without stellar defense.
The excellent defense. Here's Anthony Davis' thoughts after the OKC win.
Got to be one of the best wins of the season.
Yeah, everybody just competed. We stayed poised. We kept battling, kept fighting. Guys made plays. It was a team effort.
It seemed like turnovers was a problem in the first half, but you guys cleaned that up a lot in the second half. What did you think about it? Was it just poise?
Yeah, we just turned it over. They had 19 points in transition. So we just wanted to make sure that we took care of the basketball. We were solid in the half court, but they were getting out and running off our turnover. So we figured we'd take care of the basketball and make them beat us in the half court. We had a shot at winning the basketball game.
I know you don't like to dwell too much on individual stuff, but you became the all-time leader in franchise history. What's your reaction to accomplishing that?
That's huge. Big time for me. But it's the team effort, man. Then guys put me in position to score and be successful. Everybody, from guys who was here my rookie year to the guys who are here now. Everybody, played their part and allowed me to, be able to get that accomplishment.
You had 40-something points tonight. What did you think led to that? It seemed like you guys were running a lot of play really successfully a ton. You made a couple threes. It just seemed like you were able to do stuff in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, I was trying to attack early, and they were playing it. Everybody was playing boxing elbow, loading up. So I figured I'd try to get the jump shot going and try to go from there. But like I said, the lobs was there, so was able to get a couple of those. And then other guys made plays and made shots. We kind of put them in the bond where Stevie Downs was in between two, and then they had to help me. Each one got some open looks, so and Darius as well. So we just wanted to play together.
What do you think of your defense as a team in the second half against a really good offensive team? It seemed like you forced a lot of turnovers and really put them in a situation where they just weren't doing a lot offensively.
Yeah, we just wanted to come out and just play aggressive. We knew our third quarters were our worst quarters. I think we were last in the league, and we just wanted to come out with energy. And we knew it started with defense. So we just had to come out on the defensive end and just attack, make guys take tough shots and try to go back on the other end and score.
What do you think of each one? It seemed like you set the tone for the game overall, just the way you scored and made almost all the shots.
Yeah, I think it was 10 for 14, and that was very efficient. He played a hell of a game. I think Drew did a great job on Paul. Getting into him a little bit. Like I said, they played last night, so we just wanted to come out and just be aggressive.
AD, what did you like most about this win? I mean, under the circumstances.
That's Anthony Davis talking about the win over the OKC Thunder. I just wanted to put to y'all fans, let y'all know that Russell Westbrook walked clean off the court. He ain't turned around, he ain't dapped nobody off.
Say word.
He just walked clean off the court. But anyway, the Pelicans, they win a second game against this team. They got one final contest to play them on April the 1st, so hopefully they kick their ass then as well. Because I ain't like with Russell Westbrook. Just because you lost, you could have hollered. But anyway, when we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to talk more about the Pelicans' second matchup against the T-Wolves. We also got some other Pelican news, signing news as well, and some breakdown on that. Plus, we'll preview the Utah game as well. All that on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Pelican Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network. Stick around.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelican. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings and potential moves, unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is The Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out The Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, sports world? This Big Q from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Talking to you about the website, theposhlifestyle.com. That's right, poshlifestyle.com. A great website where you can get great products at great prices. They sell organic herbs, vitamins, supplements, water filters for your home, EMF and cell phone radiation protection, healing magnetics and healing crystals, personal protection devices like cell phones, stun guns, and mace sprays, organic deodorants, shampoos, soaps, toothpaste, and more. They also sell 10A grade Brazilian hair. 10A music is available now. All kind of the latest downloadable mixtapes. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to the poshlifestyle.com. That's the Posh Lifestyle, life spelled with a Y, LYFE style.com. Put in the Sports Coma for the 10% discount on your purchase. It's a win-win. So get your mind and body right with the Posh Lifestyle.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
That's right, all things Pelicans. Welcome back to the Sports Coma's Pelican Post-Game Report with Big Q and DC co-hosting. We in this thing, man. We just got through covering the New Orleans 14-point win over the classless Russell Westbrook. Just joking. Anyway,
we quieted the Thunder.
Yeah, they ain't have too much going. And plus, tonight they lost to the Lakers as well. So something's troubled. Something's going on in Thunderland. Anyway, let's look into the next contest. You heard Anthony Davis was breaking down his thoughts on that win, 114 to 100 win over the Utah OKC Thunder. Now we move on to recap the Minnesota Timberwolves game. That was the game last night. Of course, wasn't very I ain't gonna say it wasn't a great game. It kind of made me, the first quarter alone was, first half just I don't know, man. Yeah, it was depressing basketball, bad basketball. Not the same energy. Of course, Anthony Davis went on 10, and they were shorthanded against OKC, and they still were able to beat that team by 14.
Well, OKC isn't top heavy though. They don't have a Karl Anthony Towns, you know.
They got some players. Gorgie, Dang, and all those guys. Yeah, man, they got some players over there. Anyway,
they got a lot on the back end. They're probably one of the most balanced teams in the NBA, honestly.
They are. And then, the crazy part about it is that the guy we was trying to get from that small forward, Shabazz Muhammad, he can't even
start over here.
Right, he's a starter over here. He's third string small forward for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But let's listen to Coach Gentry, who's pretty animated on the sidelines doing his angry goldfish look. But here's what Coach Gentry had to say about that Timberwolves loss.
Do you agree with that and just could never get over the hump?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's exactly what happened. You can't play uphill the entire game. That's what we had to do because we got off to such a bad start, and then we didn't make enough of the low bitty plays, the small plays that you have to make. Coming up with a loose ball here and there, or coming up with a rebound. We didn't have enough of those plays tonight. And then some of the guys, like, I'm not making excuses, but I just thought Drew was tired. His legs wasn't quite there, but I thought the effort was there and everybody, played hard and competed. We just didn't quite have enough juice to get over the hump. But I thought we fought back, and there was a couple of big plays where, we had the ball and, we had a fast break with an 8-point game, and we turned it over. And then there was another one where, we missed the layup. They came down and made the three. And so those kind of plays, we couldn't quite get there. So, we just have to live with it.
Coach, what was your first impression of Mirotic in your system tonight?
Oh, I think he's going to be fine. He's a competitor. I still don't think he's, anywhere close to being as comfortable as he will be shooting the ball. I thought he passed on a few shots that we'd like to have him shoot. But, I thought he competed, and, you walk out and get a double-double the first night out and on a team that you hadn't even really had a shoot around, let alone a practice. So I think he's going to be fine, and I think he'll add something to our team.
All things considered, the win last night, the loss tonight, would you view this as a successful road trip, or did you need or want to win them both, obviously?
Well, I think anytime you want to win both of them, this team is a really good basketball team, and they got so many weapons. And I thought we did a good job, like we did a good job on Wiggins, but we let two of the other guys get off. But we do a good job on this guy. Gorgie Dane has kind of killed us over the 3 games that we played. I thought we did a good job on him, but then Karl Anthony Towns had a pretty good game. So, you just got to be really solid to be able to beat this team. And, they're going to be a tough out. They'll be a tough out, whoever plays.
Diallo played significant minutes tonight with a double-double. How do you think his development's coming along?
Well, I thought he did a good job for us. Obviously he hadn't played very many minutes, and it's hard to find time for him, when we had DeMarcus and AD out there. But I think, the way he played tonight, he earns an opportunity to have more minutes. So that's a situation where we'll try to give him more minutes. I think we got to be careful with the matchup. We don't want to put him in a situation where he's just going to be completely overpowered. But I thought his activity and what he did and his activity on the boards was really good tonight. And, just his running and getting out and, trying to come up with a couple of easy baskets is good also.
You guys had season high 18 offensive rebounds. How much do you think that Mirotic can really help you?
That's Al Gentry, the head coach of New Orleans Pelicans. And I like to take this minute, DC, and we don't have too much time to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to take this time here to say big ups to the guys from the Pelican Post-Game Report and the Sports Coma, because we've been calling this the whole season long when we first seen
Play
him.
Sheik Diallo.
And we're speaking about Sheik Diallo.
Play Sheik Diallo.
Who had a real good game against this team. The last 2 games, he's finally started. He's only playing them because they're brazen thin, depth-wise, right? So you look at what he did when he played against those. Okay, so he played tonight against an energyless New Orleans club, and he was able to basically, for 15 minutes, he was 3 of 8, 4-4 from the free throw line. He had 10 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double in 15 minutes. Now, I might have to start a movement that says let's replace Sheik with let's put Sheik there and move Cunningham out of there. Because Cunningham, to me, I don't know what it is. He looked craptastic the last 2 games. This game, he played 20 minutes. He was 2 of 6. He was 5 points, 1 rebound. Now, his stake is he's supposed to be a defensive guy. He had 1 rebound.
He looks horrible on defense and offense. He can hit that 3-point shot, bro, and that's it. That's why Al Gentry keep him out there. But every once in a while, he give you one. He give you about 1 3-pointer a game.
We don't need that, buddy. We don't need that. He can keep his 1 3-point shot. Anyway,
that's the only reason I can make for him playing over Sheik Diallo.
Yeah,
other than Sheik, being young and inexperienced.
Well, they're
about the same size.
Well, let's look at it like this. Let's break it down. Minnesota, they got to win 118-107 for the second straight game between the two teams. Minnesota claimed a wire-to-wire victory. It's getting old. They swept the Pelicans, matter of fact, on a season series 4-0. Timberwolves led by as many. You might see him in the playoffs. The Minnesota Timberwolves led as many but 22 points during the matchup. They shot 50% from the float. They shot 47% from deep versus New Orleans 41% from the field and 24% from deep. Making the Pelicans' debut was, of course, we didn't even talk about Mirotic, who was able to play this game, played outstanding. Nikola Mirotic came in and did what everything that we expected him to do. He provided a 3-point game. Matter of fact, his first shot as a Pelican was a 3-pointer. Nikola Mirotic, he recorded 18 points and 12 rebounds off the bench. And then, of course, Sheik Diallo with his double-double needs to play more, even at the expense of Dante Cunningham. I've seen enough of Cunningham. Anthony Davis scored 19 of his 38 points in the first quarter for New Orleans. Davis was the only starter to finish with double figures. With the win, New Orleans sweeps the season series against New Orleans, because we been mentioning
Minnesota
that they beat
sweeps them.
Right. Well, yeah, they swept the season series against them. That's the first time that happened since 2004, by the way. Anyway, let's move past and look at some of the statistics of the matter. DC, what strikes your eye before we get into this interview with Anthony Davis?
The thing that stood out to me was just basically we ain't getting enough out of our bench, bro. And you got a team that's
even with Sheik Diallo
team.
Doing what he did, you still feel the same way?
She got 10 points, 10 rebounds, but that ain't enough. That's not enough when you matching up with a team that can go 8 deep with quality players.
Diallo played that in that OKC game, by the way, for 16 minutes. He had 7 points and 9 rebounds. So, I mean, he's been looking fantastic the last 2. But, to your point, I would have to say that I think a lot that's happening with this team. They looked a little tired, to be honest with you. That OKC thing might have took a little bit more out of them than what we seen. We just naturally a bad matchup for the Timberwolves. We used to kick their butts a year ago, but now that they got the upgrades of Gibson and Jimmy Butler, the Pelican killer, we just look worse and worse against this team.
Mirotic is basically a starter, whether he come off the bench or not.
Pretty much, you're going to play in starter.
He's
minutes,
a
correct.
starter, so I mean, once you take away that 18 points, you had Ian Clark and Diallo for 19. In Minnesota, they gonna do it 1 through 5, man. They're getting double digits. So the only way we can't get double digits 1 through 5. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta have a bench.
Several players, I think it's several or 8 players are in double figures scoring on that team.
You had 1, 2, 3, 5 players. Well, all in double figures, and we probably only had 1, 2. We had 3 players in double figures, man.
Right.
Versus their 5.
Well,
and one of them was off our bench.
Right.
So you got to go deep against them, and we tried. We played a heavy rotation of people. I think Al Gentry did a good job with getting a lot of guys time. We basically played everybody except Emeka Okafor. So to me, if you would have got more production, chipped in with those guys off the bench as well, defensively too is a big part of what I'm talking about. Then maybe we could have covered that spread of them 11 points.
Probably could. The bench didn't help out that much.
AD gave you 38. You can't ask for more than that.
Right. After,
he had after the 35 plus games in a row.
Plus the 40-point game the previous night to seal the deal against a very tough OKC club. Let's move into some of our news before we preview the Utah matchup for Monday. The Pelicans made some news today. They signed DeAndre Liggins to a 2-year deal. Of course, DeAndre Liggins was with the Pelicans. He signed 2 10-day contracts. They seen enough of him to offer him a 2-year deal, but the terms of the money was not readily available.
I wonder why we didn't play him last night.
Might have been holding out, you think? It worked. Anyway, also another piece of information to pass on to you. Of course, a lot of people were looking for the Pelicans to outrightly sign the center, the Mongoose Monroe, to a contract. The Mongoose. No, the Moose. I'm sorry, the Moose. But the Moose went north this time as he signed with the Celtics for $5 million, and that moved the Pelicans to sign Emeka Okafor
not
to a
what
contract.
Reporting. I'm pretty sure he's only going to be here about 10 days.
This is right. It's a 10-day contract. It's not worth reporting. Well, goddamn. Shoot Emeka Okafor. Golly.
I'm saying that to buck him up. I hope you hear this, Emeka. Come on, man. We need something.
Well, if he classifies for something, that he's definitely the point, because Emeka Okafor was in the New Orleans jersey before he was a starting center. for the team for many unproductive years. Maybe 1 year, I think it was, where they had David West and all of them together. They had one playoff appearance, I remember, but it was pretty forgettable.
We had Tyson Chandler when that happened.
So one of the more forgettable centers that you can ever possibly imagine was Emeka Okafor.
We were pretty down on our luck when we had Emeka Okafor.
Yeah, right. So he signed a 10-day contract, like DC said. I didn't say that it's not worth reporting. Let's move forward and talk about another deal.
I had that man want to fight me when you see me.
He don't seem like the type of violent fellow. But we look at the other deal that fell through was the deal that ultimately was what I thought should have happened. It was something I've been saying on the previous podcast about the injustice they did Terrence Jones. The Pelicans had a deal set to sign Terrence Jones to a 10-day contract, but at the last minute, they pulled out of the deal.
Why?
And I don't know. No details are readily made. Whether it's a money situation, I have absolutely
it's a 10-day
no idea.
Contract. How much money can he really want for 10 days?
I don't know. The Pelicans pulled out of the deal to sign Terrence Jones. I think that's a bad deal. Maybe they come back to the table and get him done. Mirotic
they need to
and Terrence Jones off the bench. Replace Dante Cunningham with Terrence Jones minutes. More production from the bench. I actually like that move, so please make it happen, Dale
Terrence Jones can actually spot in a small forward for you. He's not a great shooter, but he definitely can guard the small forward position. And he can also take on a small forward on the defensive end and probably abuse him. So I think it's a great move to get him. I mean, guy was putting up numbers when he was here. I couldn't understand why we got rid of him, to be honest.
Right. So that's also the truth. I think you're absolutely right on that. Before we move on to the Utah preview, we're going to play a little bit of the newest Pelicans, Nikola Mirotic.
It was great for me. True, I didn't have too much time to prepare. We didn't have a practice this morning because they played last night, but I had a meeting with the coach, with the team this morning, and I watched some film. It was helpful, and those guys make it simple for me tonight. So it was helpful, and tough loss, but I'm very happy, to be with the guys, to be with the team, and it's a great feeling to be here.
Coach Gentry mentioned that there's some similarities between maybe offensively the style of play that you guys used in Chicago and what they do here. Did you find that to be the case just in the first game?
Yeah, there is some. It's similar. I was playing with Ron there in Chicago, and I know the way how he likes to play. And a lot of transition, a lot of simple plays. Trying to play with the pace, and this is how I feel comfortable too. So. Today, I know they didn't run a lot of plays because I was not, I didn't know much of those. So, but I felt comfortable. I felt great, and I had great support for all the team and for the coaching staff. So, I'm here to help.
How much you look?
That first quarter there, did they just have a bit more energy than you guys to start this one?
They did. It looks like they.
Nikola Mirotic on his interview. Of course, you heard what he was saying about playing. Of course, let's move forward and move into the Utah preview. DC, looking at the Utah game, of course, this team is currently on a 5-game winning streak. They are burning up right now. Burning up. They really looking good. And of course, we remember the first matchup the Pelicans had when Donovan Mitchell took them apart. Then, of course, the Pelicans did get some revenge not too long ago. In the series, let me see when it was. December 1st, Donovan beat him. Then I think it was the 5th. No, the 3rd of January of this past January, where they got a 10-point win in Utah against this team. Now, in 2 games against New Orleans, Donovan Mitchell averaging 32.5 points a game. He's an absolute terror. Then and there's other guys involved that haven't played. Alex Burke is another guy that used to play. We don't know what this team is going to do from shooting wise, but the Pelicans look a lot better for that, and Nikola Mirotic in the contest. In the last 10 games against the Utah Jazz, the Pelicans are 3-7. In the last 5, they are 1-4. We're looking at this team coming into this matchup, DC, and they did a pretty good job on Donovan Mitchell. But this Utah club, man, that they facing off against, this is a different club altogether, man.
They got their big guy back this time.
Rudy Gobert's back in the house.
Back.
Yeah, so
it's hard for us to beat him with Rudy.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
I think Alvin Gentry should play some old New Orleans clips. Like when we was the Jazz, because they stole our name. that'd be a little motivation for us to go ahead and take them out, man.
Yeah, what I said, they were on a 5-game winning streak. They look good, man. 103 points a game, giving up 102, something like the Pels would do. 46% from the field shooting. They rebounded about 41 rebounds a game, 21 assists, 5 blocks, 9 steals, winning 5 in a row, 7 of 3 of the last 10 matchups. New Orleans, of course, have been kind of struggling a bit, averaging a 111, giving up 110. Shooting 48.5% from the field, 43 rebounds a game, 26 assists, 5 blocks, and 8 steals per game. They lost one against Minnesota. They're 6-4 the last 10 contests. Of course, Utah is 24-28. The Pelicans are 28-24. So, DC, with all that said, and being by the fact Rudy Gobert is back, and DeMarcus Cousins is on the injury list. We're short-handed. They did get Liggins' deal done. We still have an extra roster spot to add somebody. With all that being said, Mirotic and Ball, who wins this game?
I think we dropped this game. Utah
win one, lose one.
Well, we lost one.
So we win this one.
Nah, I'm not going with that philosophy right now.
All right.
I think they dropped this game because Utah has always been a difficult matchup for us because you have Gobert in there. And I think the fact that DeMarcus Cousins is not there, and I don't know if they can figure out how to get past Gobert. I mean, Anthony Davis only averages about 24 points a game against Utah. Drew Holiday usually shows up with about 17.
Pierre, you want to come out here?
Rondo chips in with like 12 a game, so we could win. I just don't see it happening. They're still gelling with Mirotic. We got Liggins coming back, and there's just a lot of shuffling going on. I don't think Utah's the type of team you want to experiment with.
There it is. I'm gonna give New Orleans a win on this one. I think the New Orleans Pelicans will get it done against Utah. They'll find a way to get it done at home. They're playing well at home. I think they'll figure out a way, the right personnel. I think the Pelicans will kind of get happy at being back home. I think they take this from the Utah Jazz. Anyway, that's the show for tonight. We'd like to thank y'all for joining us on the Pelican Post Game Report. If you want to support our show, go to our Patreon page, www.patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. Give a donation. Also share our show. Join our social media pages as well. I'm Big Q. That is DC. We all here. And thank you for listening to us at the Pelican Post Game Report. Peace.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, world? This is DC from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Have you ever been sitting in front of your computer screen, or in traffic, tired, lacking energy, feeling drained? Did you know there are electromagnetic fields or EMF waves all around you that cause this disease? Get it? Dis-ease? Luckily here at Posh Lifestyle, you can get your EMF protection. They have pendants, the shell-dyed bricks, cubes, and pyramids. Check out the PoshLifestyle.com. That's life spelled with a Y. PoshLyfestyle.com for all your health needs. So get your mind and body right with a Posh Lifestyle.
Clear, clean, great-tasting filtered water. We're all thirsty for it. But in the U.S. alone, an estimated 2.5 million plastic bottles are added to the environment each year in search of the perfect drink of water. There has to be a better solution, and there is. Crystal Quest, a leader in the manufacturing of water filtration technology, has been providing clean, drinkable water for 20 years. With a deep commitment to providing the highest quality products and excellent customer service, Crystal Quest has been recognized by such leaders as Consumers Digest, Dr. Oz, and Colin Ingram's The Water Drinking Book. Providing cost-effective, reliable water filtration systems for residential, commercial, and industrial customers worldwide, offering our customers the cleanest and most environmental-friendly drinking water at a rating of high purity. With Crystal Quest's water filtration technology, you can rest assured that your water will be crystal clear. Contact our network of authorized distributors and join our thousands of satisfied customers.
Just log into theposhlifestyle.com. Once again, that is theposhlifestyle.com.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.